Okay, so welcome everyone. We're here today with some of our previous OT students, and we're going to have a chat about their experience here in Cavan Institute and how they've used their college course here to progress on for further education. So I'm Orla Maguire, I'm the guidance counsellor in Cavan Institute, and I'll hand you over to the girls to introduce themselves. So Diesa, do you want to kick off?
Hi everyone, so my name is Diesa King. I'm from Baileyborough and I attended Baileyborough Community School several years ago. I'm currently a level 2 student in Glasgow Caledonian University.
My name is Gaffney. I'm from Leitrim. I went to Carrigal Vocational School and I'm currently studying OT in Robert Gordon University, and I'm a second year student as well.
And hello, I'm Oniosa. I am from Ballyconnell and I am in second year of Robert Gordon University as well, doing OT as well.
Thank you.
And I'm Mary Henry. I'm one of the nursing and healthcare tutors in Cavan Institute, and I would have taught the students in their year at Cavan Institute.
Lovely. Thanks very much, girls. So Mary, do you want to kick off?
Girls, it's lovely to see you all again, and I know that Caoimhe and Oniosa, you're currently in Aberdeen, and Diesa, you're working from being based in Baileyborough. So I just maybe start off, how do you think studying in Cavan Institute benefited you? If I start with Diesa first.
Yeah, so I suppose Cavan Institute was a really good baseline for kind of going into university. You kind of learned the basics of OT, the OT language, the process of occupational therapy. We had the stimulation labs as well, so we got an insight into some scenarios to focus on, and then that kind of worked when I moved to Glasgow. When we did get to the stimulation labs, we were able to have an idea of what we learned in Cavan Institute. So then as well, for communication wise, we got to carry out interviews with each other in one of our modules, which helped when we were applying for the universities in Scotland. So yeah, I find that you're kind of more confident going into your interview than in the different universities. So I had an interview in Edinburgh and Glasgow, so then I went with Glasgow. Also, one of the other modules would be infection prevention control, which nowadays is kind of a big thing. So we had a great insight into that. One of our other modules would be occupational theory, and we got to attend Beaumont Hospital to an OT ward, and we got to see different scenarios as well, and we got an insight into splinting. And then our work placement as well was for 2 weeks. Well, the one I was in a hospital for 1 week, and then I was in a children and young adults centre for another, and I was just in nearly every area of OT you could actually really be in, so I got an insight into all of them different ones. So yeah, so it was a great opening, and I knew is what I wanted to do when I finished Cavan Institute, and I was looking forward to going on and continue my studies.
That's great, Diesa. Thank you very much. Girls, I know you've met in Cavan Institute as well. You didn't know each other beforehand?
Oh,
No, we didn't.
and it was actually so nice to meet each other. Like,
Yeah.
me and Caoimhe only lived 20 minutes away from each other.
And we hadn't a clue.
Exactly. Hadn't a notion of each other before. And like now, I'm sure we've been together now 3 years later and still going ahead. So it's nice to meet someone as well. Like Diesa, we were always in contact with her still, and like we actually made like lifelong friends in Cavan Institute. We had a great group, and yeah,
it was definitely good.
Yeah,
it was a great experience to get as well.
Have you anything to add to what Diesa said, maybe about studying in Cavan? How did it help you? Some of the modules, or was it different aspects of the course that you were able to build on when you moved on to Aberdeen?
Yeah, like I know for me personally, I was very young going from Leaving Cert, so I was like only turned 17 the April of, and then did my Leaving Cert in the May. So like I was really young going in. So Cavan Institute was really good for me just to have that year and to be able to explore, well, is this right for me? And because you never really know until, and then it just like solidified it all, like that this is the right journey, and like this is what I want to do. And like as well, even the work experience, like me and Caoimhe, we got to go on Erasmus. we would have never got that opportunity when we
No.
were in Cavan Institute, and it was so good, and we had such a good time.
It was really good. We were there for 2 weeks.
And
It was
like
brilliant.
Cavan, they give you so many opportunities, and like you just have to take them all on. Like they give you them, but it's up to yourself at the same time to take them all on and use them all. Like we did manual handling, we did the advanced first aid training, like all the stuff that we have to do here as well. But like we're just so much more experienced going in. I know like our peers here, like they're a bit more nervous and stuff because obviously they haven't had that experience previously. Like we just get jumped straight in and like go for it, because you know we are blessed that we had that experience before we went. And like even being here, like it's quite like you can get a part-time job. So like obviously we now have our level 5 in OT assistant, and we can work in like care assistants and stuff like as a part-time job here, which is great. And like I actually have a part-time job here as a care assistant, so like without that I wouldn't have been able to do it. So it's been really good.
No, it has, definitely. And even when we did go to Turkey, we decided, right, we'd try. So we got interviews, and even the interviews helped us so much better.
The process, of just getting yourself prepared, getting your questions ready. It was really good.
And it's just, I think, having the experience of having an interview and kind of getting yourself ready for, you know, going to get interviews for Robert Gordon University and Edinburgh and stuff. So it was definitely
getting them nerves, like getting used to that feeling. You know, you have to, something so new to us. And like even presenting, like we had to do presentations, and so many of the modules like communications and mental health, we had to like stand up in front of the class and like do a presentation, something I never would have done. And like just the more you do things like that, it just makes it so much easier. And like now I'm grand doing things like that because of it, and like you wouldn't be half as nervous. So yeah, it's a great experience.
Definitely,
yeah, it's great. I think those things you mentioned, like the presentation skills and everything, it's great to get that, 'cause in Cavan it's much smaller classes than you probably have in university, I'd say, is it?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's we're in a master's course, so it's a bit smaller. So we like 50 people, so like even like 50 people are like, oh, you know, but it's so much better having, you know, a bigger amount. I suppose you're more used to it as well, and you're more confident.
So you're from Cavan, from a level 5 in Cavan, straight on to a master's course in OT in Aberdeen.
I know. It's when you hear it, you're like, oh, but it's actually, it's been integrated into the 4 years, so it's quite you don't feel like you're doing it like a master's.
But it is intense.
It is intense. It's very intense that we're always like busy, but we like it like that, and you know, we're getting on well. Like we've got on well so far, and we're happy with how it's going.
Keep going
the right way.
That's amazing. Fair play. She is.
Girls, with Cavan, we have quite a strong emphasis on your organisation of your work and submission of assignments and continuous assignments and the structuring of assignments and referencing. Did you find that was of benefit to you when you started your university program?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like the referencing was just absolutely amazing, giving us a head start in it, because referencing is a huge thing in university. And thankfully we got lots of practice with that in Cavan. And then in regards to assignments and that and structures, it's just, you kind of know yourself more organised. You have to be organised, and at least it helped you get a head start. And I thought it was really, really beneficial.
Yeah, when we started in Robert Gordon, you know, we were like, right, you know, we need to have this done by a certain time, which in Cavan you were kind of thinking, oh, you know, and then it kind of just got you into routine and thinking, right, I need to get this done.
We know even the other girls that came straight from leaving that are here, they panicked a lot more. Like, you know, they were like, oh my God, assignments. Like, obviously it's so new to them. And like, we were just blessed in that way that we had an idea and we knew, okay, well, if you get it started now, we'll have this amount of time for that. Like, you know, it just really does organise, so it was a great experience.
Very good.
I imagine with the other leaving certs that are coming in to get an assignment, and they're panicking, thinking, how do I research? How do I reference?
Exactly.
Spend so much time working how to do the assignment, whereas you guys know all of that, so you just like, all I need to worry about is the content.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Excellent.
It's really good, like in that sense that we could just get straight into them. And
and then we were even helping them, you know, because we were usually it's the other way around, but
we're used to helping people, so we're like, go on.
So it's quite nice that we were able to help them as well.
It's a good confidence boost.
And is there a lot of continuous assessment in your degree courses now, same as Cavan?
So I would just have my assignments at the end of the semesters and then followed by exams as well. and we don't actually have continuous assessments. So
right.
I don't mind it that way, because they give you an assignment at the start of the year, and as we learn the material, you can kind of start yourself.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so that's the way we do it.
And Caoimhe, what's it like with you guys?
So it's mostly continuous assessment, but we did have one exam in first year, and that was Christmas.
Yeah.
And we had to pass that to get into second year, and then so we've passed that. So then it's just continuous assessment and assignments. So we have no exams. We only have one exam in the 4 years.
Which we're very happy about.
We were delighted about.
We're not great exam women, so
No.
it was nice to hear that.
Hands on.
Yes, what we like.
What range of placements is there on your course?
So for me, for first year, our placement was for 2 weeks, and it was kind of more focused on communication. So I was put into a care home with an OT and activities coordinator, but then other people in my group were put into actual like kids clinics or hospitals. So kind of there's a range of different ones, but it was mainly focused on communication. So then this year now for second year, it was meant to be 6 weeks, but unfortunately with COVID, they've cut it back to 4. So I was meant to be on placement in January, but they've moved it now till August. But in the meantime, for something for us to do, so we don't get bored, they have organised us for stimulation virtual placement. So that is once a week for 6 weeks. So I find that so beneficial, because they're not real clients, they're retired healthcare workers. So we have to come up with interventions, and we have to carry out occupational process with them. And we're basically practicing on them, and then we get feedback at the end of each day. So I think that's a great way, because you can make mistakes really without being judged today. So yeah, so that's great. So then we'll have my placement in August for 6 weeks, and then third year it's for 12 weeks. I think it's broke up 6 and 6, but again, I don't know what's happening at the minute with COVID. And then for our fourth year, which is our final year, we could actually do it at home if we wanted to get it at home. So you could do it wherever you like in fourth year, your own choice. And I think it could be for 4 months. I'm not 100% sure on the date, but yeah, no, it's great to have an opportunity to work from home then.
And Caoimhe, where's your placement this time?
So we just finished placement there about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we had an 8-week placement there, and I was in community mental health with the older adults. So I loved it. I didn't think I would, but I loved it so much. And Oniosa was in pediatrics.
Yeah, I was in pediatrics, and I loved it too. I wasn't sure, because I hadn't much like children experience, so I was like, oh god, will I like this? Absolutely fell in love with it. It was so good, and had the best time ever. Like even just being in that clinical like way. So I was in inpatient, so we got so much more experience than we expected, especially with COVID and everything now. Like we didn't expect to be getting so much like face to face, and it was really good. And just being like going around doing what they're doing all day every day, and getting into that routine. Yeah, it was just so nice, and it just like solidified, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Yeah, because our first year placement, it was supposed to be 6 weeks, it was cancelled due to COVID, so we actually hadn't got a placement, so we were
that was our first time, so it was a bit nerve-wracking.
Exactly, yeah,
but we were kind of just kind of put into it, like into the deep end, and it was, to be honest with you, it was the best way.
Yeah,
we just were straight in, and
we were so upset leaving. We didn't want to leave. We were like, let me stay. We really loved it so much. So yeah. And then we have another one in third year. So there's a placement every year, and there's 2 in fourth year for us. So there's another one in third year, and it's a 6 week or 8 weeks.
8 week, yeah.
And then there's another one in fourth year, and
we have 2 in fourth year.
Yeah, 2 in fourth year. One's elective, like Diesa said, so you can maybe do it at home, or
you can go abroad.
You choose where you want to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of them, they're all allocated for you, so they can place you anywhere in Scotland, and they just allocate you to like
have to go there.
Yeah, you just have to go. But best experience. Yeah. And you can get like pediatrics or mental health, older adults,
or
like some of our friends, what they were in, orthopedics. Like there's so many different you can go to, and stroke. Yeah,
even A&E. Like there's one in A&E. I was quite surprised with A&E, but
community, you'd be going into schools and home visits and everything. It was I even got to go out on a home visit. It was really like interesting, and we were so lucky to get out with COVID. Like So yeah, enjoyed every minute.
Definitely, it was really good.
And just on the transition over, like how did you find the whole application process? Applying through UCAS, and in terms of the grades, were they looking for very high grades, like was it similar to Leaving Cert, or what would they be requesting of you? Diesa, do you want to take that one maybe?
So like I said earlier, we got really good practice with interviews and that in Cavan Institute beforehand. So we also got help with filling out our UCAS forms, and so we'd await to be called for interviews, got our dates, and we all went over to Edinburgh together. There was 6 of us. So we all had our interviews on the one day for that. Then some of the other girls went to Robert Gordon. I personally didn't go to Robert Gordon, and then I didn't actually have an interview for Glasgow. It was just you had to apply for it. You had to get 6 distinctions. So I got that. So I went over to Glasgow for a day at Easter the year before. I just fell in love with the city. So I was like, I'm going here. But yeah, no, we had great preparation going over for the interviews. Like Oniosa said, we were confident going over.
One of the tutors in Cavan, she like proper practice, like so she did. Now girls, these are all going for an intervieve, so
get dressed.
Told us what to wear, like told us how to look, like, and even like all them tips was so helpful, you know. And she gave us like a list. Aoife, the guidance counsellor, she gave us a questions like a list of questions what they might ask, and like we just went over them and just be prepared if they do ask you some of these questions.
And some of them they did ask as well, so that was really good just to be prepared. So it was great that, you know, we met each other in Cavan Institute, and we're like, realistically, if you're going into the course, there is going to be a few people in the same position maybe wanting to go abroad with you. So like it was really good that we could go together, and you know, like, you don't have to get your parents and all, but you know, it was quite nice to go together and experience what it's going to be like if you are going to go over. So it was really nice that we could get away together and do that.
Brilliant. Sounds excellent. Sounds just so positive. The whole experience from being in Cavan to the transition over, and now life in Scotland, just one big fun time.
It was so fun until COVID, but I know.
Yeah.
Like even some of the girls that have come over now in first year, like they're obviously, like, it's hard for them because like we were so busy in first year, like every day
so
we
busy
full days that next year it'll be back to normal, hopefully.
Great. Well, look, girls, it's been absolutely lovely chatting to you. We've really enjoyed seeing all your faces again, and thanks to Mary as well for joining in and giving us a little bit of insight into the course and everything that's involved. We wish you so much success with the rest of your course. I'm sure you're going to be qualified and absolutely amazing OTs in the future, and you know, the patients that meet you are going to be so lucky to have you. So thank you so much for coming on. For everyone listening at home, if you're interested in or get some more information on the course, you can come to cavaninstitute.ie for information on the OT assistant course and all our different courses. So thanks so much, everyone, and take care.